नमस्कार, मैं हूं अली अब्बास। तेज़ रफ्तार न्यूज़ में आपका स्वागत है। आइए नज़र डालते हैं आज की कुछ ताज़ा खबरों पर।
Really an honor. If you ask me how safe your pictures are, they are not at all safe. Anything that's on your mobile or on your computer, as long as it is connected to the internet, please understand that it is just, many people tell me I don't share it. मैं अपनी pictures को share ही नहीं करता. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. आप share नहीं करते, but there are so many people who are anyway taking the pictures from you. Let me give you one example. Like, when you install your mobile apps, doesn't it ask for access to your gallery? So who's made the mobile app? It's just a developer. Like, she has a team that develops apps. Now let's say she creates an app for, Book My Show or for Mukta or anybody, and they say, okay, we want to, have access to your images. So what do you mean? What do you mean when they say that they need access to the gallery? The entire gallery. So whatever photographs you're storing, somebody else can also see. It's just not the Google or the Facebook, it's also the owner of that particular app. So like in a recent case also, a lot of medical data has been breached. A lot means lot. So that also included pictures of many of their private parts which they had sent to the doctors. Many times like to a skin doctor, you would want to send a particular picture, to a gynaec especially. Those pictures also, you think that it stays only on your phone and in the gynaec's phone. No, it has gone all across. So nothing is safe. So, unfortunately we are in the era where we have to be like scared at every step if you're using the internet.
So basically when you download an app and the first thing that the phone asks you, the notification that should you permissions and you press
permission to my gallery. Why should it require permission to my contacts? And many people say, no, if you don't give the permission, the app won't install. There's nothing like that. So what you can also do is install the app, give it the permissions, immediately disconnect it from internet, the Wi-Fi or the mobile internet. Go back to the settings and again revoke all the permissions. The app is going to work. And if it still doesn't work, who's at loss? Not we people. Those guys. So I would rather than go to the, to the internet, to the browser and then book a ticket, than give him and then take a chance of giving him access to my entire gallery.
So basically with the digital outbreak, who's
not age specific, it's not gender specific. Yes, when it is targeted abuse, then there is a specific age or a gender or there. Otherwise, it's each and every user who's in a hurry, who's not applying common sense, who's not applying logic. It's whatever you will do in a physical world for your safety, for your privacy, is exactly what you do in a cyber world. But just because the medium is built in such a way that the speed is so much, you are always very impatient and in a hurry that if I don't do it now, then it's lost. So that's where we fall prey to. So it's irrespective of age and gender. Like I have a client who's as young as 11 and another one is as old as 82. And men, women, only. Clearly not, particularly age.
and how strict, like if you commit a cybercrime today, how strict are the punishments for it? Like what goes behind?
So if you see, if it's only as per the IT Act, then it's not such severe. But then what the police stations do, they combine it with the, with the other code also, IPC code also. Then it becomes very, very harsh. So, but of course they are all available. Some of them aren't. So you can try once if you want to. Just.
So anything related to children, which falls under POXO, then that's the severe most, and it's absolutely not bullying. Bullying, when it comes to cyberbullying, we are looking at minimum 3 years of imprisonment with the fine as well. So it's not that it's not very strict, but yes, the process is lengthy. And this is one area where you're punishing, but what happens to the victim, the damage is way far. It takes sometimes years for the victims to get over that phase of life. Unfortunately, the wound is not visible. So nobody can believe that, okay, you're going through some sort of distress, some sort of emotional, incompatibility overall. And the worst affected is your trustability. Because then you are so, conscious about everything that you always feel somebody is talking, somebody is laughing at you kind of stuff. So that's where it gets worse.
So according to the two of you, how has government or the cyber cell taken any particular measures to prevent it from happening? Like, are they serious enough?
I'm not from the government, I'm not a cop. But then I've worked with them, in several cases. So they are, one thing what I will appreciate about the government, especially the Maharashtra cyber, is they have put a lot of efforts. I mean, I don't know about any other state putting in so much efforts as what Maharashtra cyber has done, especially related to phishing also. They came up with a website, reportphishing.in. They took complete charge when there was one of the biggest cases related to children-related or abusive material, which incorrectly is referred to as child pornography. So there they made a lot of arrests and everything. So they are also being very proactive in spreading a lot of awareness. So they are working quite a lot. The issue is that the criminals are not even just like 10 steps, but they are 100 steps ahead of us. So, as somebody was saying yesterday, it is like, they just need to try 1,000 times, and one time, if it strikes you, you're gone. This was the Superintendent of Police, Dr. Balsam Rajput was saying, I was listening to him yesterday. But we consumers, we citizens, have to prevent from getting attacked all 1,000 times. So every attack we have to, take care.
So what kind of stress does cyber?
It directly impacts your self-esteem, your self-worth, I've had clients who suffered from clinical depression, addictions, obsessions, all of this, and the worst it can go till someone really getting paranoid about this falling into the real world also. See, the more time you are engaged into cyber world, the line gets very thin between real and virtual. And we've had cases where it started in the real world and gone on to virtual world, or vice versa. So that's where it gets very, very harassing and very difficult for people to stay away. So for example, if it's an alcohol addiction, it's easy because I can completely abstain you from that. But when it comes to internet, when it comes to social media and exposure, internet is not only used for this purpose. It has become an integral part. Right from your alarms to your entire calendar management, appointments, everything we use. Communication is largely on internet. So complete abstinence is very difficult, and that's where it gets very, very severe to handle the stress that comes with it.
So do you think that a remedy for this would be a lot of schools and colleges actually having a cyber psychologist? Because a lot of school and colleges anyway have a lot of counselors to deal with everyday activities that the students go through, personal problems, professional problems, and educative problems as well. So one of this could be actually a cyber psychologist as well, like in the near future.
Yes, with now schools going international and having access to internet for the means of education as early as class 4 and class 5, it's very, very important for them also to sensitize children and make them aware of the danger. So as we say, prevention is the best cure. Technology, children are very savvy, but they can't foresee the dangers, and that's where people like us have to step in and at least sensitize them. Because it's not just simple internet browsing, it's the kind of content that is being served to them. And like internet is like a Pandora's box. Your child will just be looking at a soccer video on YouTube, but you never know what next is showing up. So the only way we prevent it is to make them aware this can happen and to prepare them. Yes.
No, I would, so cyber psychologists can come at a second stage. What we first need is like a cyber guardian in the school. So it should, because now you all are becoming, we all are digital citizens now. So it's very important that every child, if they are going in whether it's grade 1, grade 2, they all have these iPads and they have that. So you start the cyber etiquette, you start the cyber training and help them. We always say let's surf the net. You wouldn't leave your child. So you're not going to leave your child if you had to take them to an ocean or on a beach. You're not just going to say, okay, go surf, go in the ocean. You're going to train them. You're going to be with them. So the same thing when you're stepping into the cyber journey, it's extremely important that you are with them. Talk to them about the positives. That's great because without internet you cannot do. But at the same time, tell them about the danger zones. Well, for me, I think almost all of them because they're so challenging. But yeah, the ones that were related to children have always been very memorable for me because they have been they don't even know that they're getting exploited. The young kids, they're as old as some of them are 5 years, some of them are 10 years, so some of them are 12, 13 years. So these boys and girls don't even know that they are being exploited. They don't know also what has happened to them. So when I investigated those cases and we got the victims, we got the culprits also. Not me, I didn't catch the culprits. I investigated, helped the cops and all that. So those are the ones, especially related to child sexual abuse material. Because I want to use this platform to just tell all of you that. Possession of, you may be in a particular group where there could be an exchange of adult pornography or obscene images also. That's for your own, within a group it's absolutely legal, there is no problem about it. But if any of the content is related to children, it could be an obscene cartoon, it could be an obscene image, it could be an obscene video about a child, even possessing it, and even if you're not informing anyone, to the LEAs, law enforcement agencies, which means you're not informing the cops and all, that itself is also criminal. And if you don't inform or if you don't warn those people who are sending it, this will continue on. And what is the effect of it? The effect is so that, down the line there will be many more such people, the producers as we call it, the creators of those videos, they will encourage or they might just do certain things against the will of the children. In any case, the children are not a part of it, but they would want to force them to do certain things. And that is how the crime against the children increases. So, just step on board and help over it.
Yes, of course, every case is different and every victim who goes through something is really, really very different and very sensitive to go through. But one of the cases that I cannot forget was during my experience with NTV Troll Police. So the whole show, if some of you all have seen it, the show was about celebrities get trolled and they wanted a platform where they could bring the trolls on face and ask them, why are you doing this? So I was the therapist on the show and Tapsi Pannu's troll was a young guy. And when I was talking to them about 16 trolls I have met and I've counted as part of the show. So out of 16, there was only one guy who intentionally did this. The rest all did it only for entertainment. Time pass was the word they told me. And this guy is just 23. And it was one night after his exam when he was getting bored is when he started writing a little, you can say it as not so happy comments to Tapsi. And then without he himself realizing that the way the whole disinformation effect happened on screen, he just went on to the extent of writing horrendous sexual comments, which was unbelievable because when I met him in person, he was just like someone from yours and mine family. So this is the kind of impact internet can have on us. We call it in our psychology term as disintegration effect, and this is of course a toxic one, where because you are dealing with a screen, there is no other person. You're not looking at Tapsi when you're talking to her or when you're telling something to her, so you're going to go on and on and on without realizing. So I really cannot forget. So when I spoke to him and when we made him realize that this is what you've done, it was very difficult for him to go through it. It took a lot of time for us to counsel him, to make him understand that. So the guilt took over very badly. So that's one place I really don't forget, because I believe that if 50% are victims, the other 50% are the offenders, and most of them are they're the accidental offenders. They have not realized that when they have crossed that line, or when they have taken that entertainment quotient to another level. So it's very important that we take a pause while we are writing, while we are commenting, while we are reacting. We change that reaction to response on internet, which is where our logical and analytical thinking can step in. So that's one, I always take that as an example to address it, because let it not happen to you.
So of course we are living in a digital era and it's like already a big thing. So if you want to make a career, like how you both have made successful careers, a very technical question, what are the educational facilities to get where you both are today? What education does one perceive?
It's one laptop.
That's
it. Yeah. Of course, you need the passion. Yeah, you need the passion. Because when Google can answer everything, when Alexa has come to a point that it can replace your wife also in arguments. So I think, with all these, you have Udemy, you have so many courses like Python becoming such simple, you can just go online and just learn. So what's there? So it's just like, all you need is a laptop with an internet connection, the passion, and you just start, because the entire network, at least as far as cybercrime investigations are concerned, you need to know about cybersecurity, you need to know about the infrastructure, how technology works. Yeah, so you can, like, in one machine also you can have like 8 machines, the virtual machines you can have, as many as you want. You can set up your own lab, you can use a virtual lab. So, not really that you need to be, you can be from any line, you can be a arts fellow, science, commerce, even an uneducated, even 10th pass, and you can reach wherever you want. It's not that difficult as such, you just need to be hands-on all the time.
And in terms of cyber psychology, so yes, in India we do not still have any university or any college that is offering this as a degree. But from my personal experience, I can say that I have a 20-year long-standing IT career, which has helped. So it's kind of a perfect marriage of IT and psychology. Is what can make you more successful than any degree that you would want to go and learn. Because what you need over here is more of understanding of human behavior and the technology, how it works. Because that's where you can relate that, yes, this is why this can be, this is how this can be taken care of, and this is how this is impacting us.
Thank you so much.
That needs to be done is please change all the auto syncs, because we've had cases where auto sync is on and then the pictures that you don't want are synced with Google Play or iCloud, or even if you're on social media, by default the sync is always on, whether it is Instagram, whether it is Facebook. So it's very important, that one thing. And the second thing is this whole idea of tagging. Let's respect each other's privacy. So we all have that access that yes, I can go and put a tag that nobody can, even if the tag, it won't directly be published until I get that permission. But also before tagging, we inform, like if we do that as a practice wherever we go, that I'm going to use this picture and put it on the internet, and I would tag if you do not know. So let's start getting into that practice. Is what I would like. So I can use this as a hack as well.
Anyone from
Absolutely, because see, let's understand why did they give a feature. They gave the feature so that they would want to know something about you. So they already have a photograph about you. Okay, okay, and that photograph says a lot. So let's say when I look at you, you look Indian, you're fair, this is your height, this is your build, I already have. But it would be great if I also come to know where you took the picture. So which means, this data, I mean, why are the world's biggest guys entering into the cyberspace? And why are they so successful? They're only so successful because they have so much of information about you. They have a lot of information about you, and so it is, and who's giving this information? They are not stealing, but we are giving. So when you are geotagging, even when your locations are always kept on. So they are actually making, and it's not a human sitting over there, it's an AI machine, the artificial intelligence machine, which is doing that. Okay, this guy, let's say Rohan, he gets up at this particular point of time, okay, he takes his bath at this point of time and gets ready, he goes here, he looks like this, and whenever you have taken a photograph, at what location you have, so these locations help them a lot. So a lot of this needs to be, as much as possible, avoided. Because does that help you? Firstly, when you take a photograph, does that help you that you know where you took the picture? So why do we want to give this information? And see, have you seen the number of emails or SMSs you used to receive, let's say 5 years back, and now? It was this, now it's this. Why? It's not because you signed up for them. It's because they have so much of information about you. So look at.
नमस्कार, मैं हूं अली अब्बास। तेज़ रफ्तार न्यूज़ में आपका स्वागत है। आइए नज़र डालते हैं आज की कुछ ताज़ा खबरों पे।